What'd you say?
No intro. Let's just start talking.
I
All
think
right. Well, with that, we're going. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Good Old Rocky Pod. So we got a win, boys. We beat South Carolina. How we feel?
Great.
I'm great as always.
Wait, before we get in, Chris, is this a bit or are you for real?
It's for real.
So when did you lose your voice Saturday?
It was fine after the game. And then I woke up the next morning and, I've done everything. It's gotten worse. I discovered there's two voices. I can do this one and I can do this one.
Oh, that one's better.
That was better. Yeah.
You should just mix it up
That one.
randomly.
That's
Yeah.
Can you whisper?
It's scratchy. But it's one of two.
It's pretty good at Ed Orgeron impression.
Anyways, Tennessee beat South Carolina, didn't we? You guys want to talk about that?
I
Yes.
think I think it was pretty good. Like I mean, there was awful things in the game, like Joe Milton throwing awful interceptions. But other than that, I think we did pretty good.
I thought
Yeah.
the first pick was pretty bad, but the second one, I almost want to blame. Who was it? Was it Warren?
Probably.
I think it was McCastle's. But yeah, that one wasn't
Yeah, it
terrible.
was.
McCastle's did not make the play on the ball like he should have.
Somebody's been reading the board.
Yeah, overall, I mean, the defense, I think, won that game more than anything. Because I was honestly worried that South Carolina was going to come in here and put up some yards and some points. And they didn't do much of either, so that was nice to see.
Matt, are you happy? That's what I want to know.
Am I happy that we won? Yes.
Are you
Could have
happy
been
that we
prettier.
got 3 touchdowns?
Yes. But if we had elite quarterback play, we would have won by 6 touchdowns.
Well, that's
Did
the
we have
caveat.
elite quarterback play last year when we lost?
That was last year, okay? This is this year. We're talking about this year.
I do think that like that's one thing I was kind of thinking about. I'm happy, obviously, that we won, but I do think we probably had 60 points on the field. So we probably left like 20, probably another 2.5 touchdowns were left on the field for sure.
Yeah.
You guys are comparing it to perfect though. And I just
Yeah.
I think that's fair. Yeah. No, I've decided to somewhat tone back the negativity.
I mean, you look at every team in the SEC this year is making mistakes and leaving points on the field.
Everybody sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an exciting season for that for sure.
We have to start judging it on a different scale. We can't compare it to last year anymore. This is not Hendon Hooker's offense. It's Joe Milton's offense, and that is going to look drastically different. But it can still
Yeah.
be effective.
Yeah, it looks drastically offensive. At least our
Well,
running backs. I mean, our running backs are so good. They are so good.
One thing I would like to bring up to the group is, do we think that like Mays being back was actually that impactful?
Yep.
I thought it looked noticeable, yeah. I mean, wasn't a whole lot of pressure South Carolina got all night. Like, I think he was the missing link for the line.
The tempo in the first half seemed way better to me.
Yeah. So, Caleb, you and Chris were at the game. What was the atmosphere like?
It was good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be hyperbolic and say it was the best ever or anything, but it was good.
I honestly don't remember much.
Did you guys wear black or?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh my goodness, you did not.
we did not. Yeah.
Oh no.
Most people.
I liked the light show before the game. That was nice.
No memory.
Was it kind of similar to the light show they were doing last year?
That's all I heard.
Yeah, I wasn't at the Kentucky game, so I don't know, but
It was very good last year.
Well, I'm happy our fans could enjoy that. Good for them. What else we got? So obviously, we got to address the Brew McCoy injury. Very unfortunate.
That's
I mean, I don't really know what there is to say. Sucks.
I mean, that's the one guy where that injury, I think, is really going to hurt the offense. Because that dude, I mean, he's just a leader on the field, off the field.
it's his
Yeah,
blocking.
you're probably right. Although last year when Tillman went down, we seemed to get better. I don't know exactly why that was, but I don't know. I'm not. I don't know. We could be fine. We'll have to see.
It was midway through the second quarter, right?
Thought it was in the third.
I think it was like near the beginning of the third.
No, because we had the pick six after the injury, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was the second,
It
maybe.
was injury, pick six, halftime, I think.
It didn't seem to slow us down all that much, but then South Carolina being what they are defensively, I mean, we looked good on both sides of the ball and in special teams.
Yeah.
We dominated. We dominated in the way that I hoped that we could.
One of the most
I mean-
encouraging things to me was the drives in like the fourth quarter where we just kept the ball on the ground and took a ton of time off the clock.
Yeah.
No.
I think, yeah. I mean, this offense, I think that's why I'm just so down, because it's not last year's offense. And that last year kind of conditioned me to, okay, this is what we have to expect every year. We're going to score 50 points a game. And, you know, if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to score 51. So,
I agree.
but,
It's-
man.
There's not a whole lot of explosiveness. And I guess my lingering fear going forward is it feels like it will be easier for good teams like Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, so on, even Kentucky, to just stifle a power running game like ours more than it would have been if we had an explosive downfield passing game, which we just don't have.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's my main fear. What do you think? Is that a valid observation?
It may be, or it could be. I don't know. I just don't know enough about football. It could be that we're not throwing downfield just because it's not there.
Yeah.
They're just.
Receivers are just not getting separation. We took Hyatt and Tillman's ability to do that for granted, I think. We thought that this was a plug and play system, and it's clearly not.
Yeah, I do think that for me, just watching a couple years of Brew McCoy, like he's a great wide receiver. Like I think he's truly like a 5-star receiver that he lived up to be. But he's not a deep ball threat as much as he is just to move the chains on the second and third down receiver.
That's the most devastating part of the loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Because after he went down, you saw we tried to run one of those little bubble screens, and I can't remember if it was Nimrod or Webb in there, but he just didn't have the same impact blocking. I'm excited. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the one thing that I do think that we kind of saw once Brew McCoy went down is the tight ends got more active. Whether, Castles kind of sucked it up, but I think that Warren is going to have a major role moving forward. Like he might be the replacement for those targets that would have been going to Brew McCoy are probably going to go to Jacob Warren now.
Man.
That's the big body that you're looking for.
It has been kind of interesting to see McCastles kind of take over that primary role, though, because Like I don't know. I just don't see much of Warren anymore. I mean, I know he had the touchdown catch, but it seems like McCastles is getting most of the playing time there.
Yeah.
Which is very surprising because, I mean, where'd he come from? Like UC Davis or something? Like no one had ever heard of this guy, and then comes in and he's playing SEC level football, so that's pretty exciting.
And give a big shout out to Kamal Haddon.
Oh yeah.
It's time for some mea culpas around here.
I do love his interception was because he was playing 10 yards off of the receiver. But
Yes.
40 stats, man.
You said it, not me.
Was it Pierce that set that up with the pressure?
Yeah.
I think he had like
3
he had like
sacks.
6 pressures all night or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he had
was
3
great.
sacks and like 7 pressures or something insane.
Yeah,
But
he was great. I love our young lineman.
I was told that Haddon was booed in the pregame introductions.
Oh Lord.
you could hear it, but it was very, it was not loud.
Caleb, when did we get to our seats?
Maybe 20, 25 minutes before kickoff.
We saw pregame?
Yes.
Okay.
It's hilarious. No, but I think for me to wrap up my thoughts on the game is I think it was good that the way we kind of handled it. I mean, I do think it was hilarious that Rattler after the game said that was our Super Bowl. But I think I was pleasantly surprised that we did what we were supposed to do on defense, and for the most part, except for probably maybe 3 or 4 possessions, we were kind of who we should be on offense.
Yeah, I think that's the most frustrating part is, I mean, you see those drives on offense, like, what was it, a 94-yard drive we had? Like, I mean, it looked perfect, like, good balance, and then we go out, like, the next time and just play awful. Like, it's just so weird. I don't like it.
I mean, it's kind of how football works, though, sometimes.
But I don't want it to work that way. I want it to work in our favor all the time. Never change.
And you see that it's possible.
I think that was my biggest complaint with Milton. In the second half, we're up and we have the ball, and they know we're going to run the ball. But he's not even out there trying to sell that he's going to pull the ball back and keep it on some of these run-pass options or whatever. Like, he's just going through the motions on it, and it's not good for our running backs because, I mean, they're getting squashed at the line of scrimmage, and nobody's going to have to respect it in the future when they see that on film. Like, I don't like that. I want more.
I kind of feel I felt like he was told not to run. Did he run at all Saturday?
I think
that
he had
I know.
One little scramble for a couple yards when no one was open.
I don't get it. Like, is he scared of it?
Well, obviously, I think he doesn't like being tackled.
Well, isn't that how he got hurt? His first year here, was he kind of scrambled? Or no, he was kind of like awkwardly sacked or something. I think it was the latter, but...
No memory. I mean, he's injured, isn't he? He's not 100%.
He's banged up.
Yeah.
Plus, I think we got secret A&M playbook. Kind of hold back, too, so...
Say more.
They did talk about it on the TV broadcast about how he was wearing a big, bulky brace that limited his mobility a little bit.
Oh. Well, don't all offensive linemen wear those and they still manage to have a little bit mobility and block?
I mean, they go 5 yards every play.
Oh, yeah, unless they break the rules.
Not our left tackle. He goes 15 to 20 left to right, mauling dudes.
Yeah,
You see them videos Cole Kublik threw up? That dude's a monster. He's just...
Did you guys see the Trey Smith one from last night?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Like, that's something else. I enjoyed it.
Before I forget, since we gave a shout out to Brew McCoy, can we wish a speedy recovery to Jackson Lampley and Dane Davis?
R.I.P. in peace.
Yeah.
People were just dropping like flies in that game. It was.
especially after our extra points.
People sitting behind us at the game were very concerned about Jackson Lampley getting hurt on the point after attempt.
Oh. My favorite part was when we were substituting and you see a guy running on the field and one of the players like just looks at him and he just tells him to go down, and he just immediately falls on the ground. It was great.
I don't know, for you guys that were like actually in the stadium, it was clearly hilarious on TV where they zoomed in on Lampley after the extra point, and the trainer was just fidgeting with his knee brace. Like he was literally just moving his knee brace back and forth and up and down, and then Heupel was just like patting him on the head.
I love that they sell it with Heupel coming out with the very grim.
Like, Hart was literally like, "Oh, I hope it's like not a serious situation because like and like I don't know if Tom Hart's in on it or not, but like he was selling it like it was something serious."
Heupel should go out there with like rosary beads or something.
Yeah, I think I want, like, if Tom Hart calls on like a radio show in the future, I want someone to ask him that question. Was like, are you in on this or are you not? Because he was selling it pretty hardcore, like it was a serious situation.
And on a scale from 1 to 10, how funny do you find it?
Right. Oh my God.
All right,
And
what
South
other?
Carolina did it too.
I feel like it was so overdone with Lampley that they had to have Dane Davis do it the second time. Because they're like, we can't have Lampley do it 2 times in a row. We got to switch it up to another offensive lineman.
Yeah, glad we got the win.
Man,
I get Corey Caleb. It wasn't perfect, but it's football. Football's never
They
perfect.
won by
So.
3 touchdowns. That's
I know, but I had an alternate spread plus 27.5. Ugh.
plus
Or
27.
minus. Sorry, you know what I meant.
You were confident.
Yeah. Chris was the one that called for us to lose.
the defense went well. I mean, beyond my wildest expectations. Like I thought, like you, Matt. I thought they would.
Chris.
I watched
Which voice
Leggett
went?
against Mississippi State. Apparently, Mississippi State. What
You froze for a minute.
did I?
Yeah, and then
So-
you came in and you were ranting about Mississippi State.
No, they suck. Apparently, real bad. But I thought that Leggett would and others would do more. But no, they decided to just make every open field tackle, every single one of them that they missed in Florida, and UTSA and others. That's not the defense that I've seen, not since the Virginia game.
My favorite thing about the defense was there were a lot of young guys out there. T-Lander at linebacker.
Carter!
Who were the other ones? Carter was out there, made a good play.
What about the secondary? I couldn't tell in the stadium. Did any of the young guys?
I
No,
didn't notice any
all
of
the
them,
all
no.
the young players were in the front 7. The
Yeah,
back end were just the same.
yeah. Would love to see the secondary get some of those young guys in, but all right. Anything else, South Carolina?
Jackson Ross, 49
Oh,
yard
yeah.
average. The guy
Man,
having a weapon.
Oh,
I
I
feel
would
like
say
he could
that-
almost fake every single punt. Like he just
there
runs
was a
out there
point
and
where
can
he
just
had
take off.
so much room to run. He should have done that. Gosh.
Yeah, we're gonna hit somebody with one of them.
I would say that one thing that I would like to bring up is Williams probably did have his punt return touchdown called back for no reason, because that block in the back that called back our punt return touchdown was iffy at best.
Really.
And you say it was like on the complete opposite side
Yeah,
of the
it was
field
on the
too.
complete opposite side.
Wait, he
Uh,
had a punt return for a touchdown.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, he had a
Glad
punt
you're on here
return for
talking about the
touchdown,
game.
and it got called back for blocking the back, which was iffy.
Wasn't in the highlights.
Uh,
Jesus Christ.
I do want to congratulate South Carolina. They essentially got a victory because they had a successful fake punt and they made us use a timeout. So I feel like that's really all they came to do.
That fake punt though, like when you look at the replay and you see the the defensive back or whatever, just completely ignore that receiver and go with the other guy. Like, okay, even if it's not a fake, like you're just gonna let that guy run down the field and tackle our punt returner. Like, I don't know what happened there, but I think they got a little lucky on that coverage mishap.
Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna throw this out. Going out of this entire football Saturday, I'm just gonna say that I am less scared of Bama and Georgia, but I'm more scared of A&M and Missouri.
Okay, I thought you were going to say Kentucky at first.
Jesus Christ.
No, I don't, like I'm just always going to be like, I don't care. Kentucky can go 11-1, and we're going to be their one loss. It's just how it is. That's how I just think. If that comes to be true, I don't know, but that's just how I think. But I think legitimately, I could make a pretty good argument for us going 5-0 over the next 5 SEC games, and I could also make an argument that we go 0-5.
Yeah,
It's hard. I mean, Arkansas kind of sucks, but Texas A&M looked enormous and fast.
Who did A&M play again? I forgot.
Arkansas.
Oh.
And that nightmare of a game that they play every year. That Jerry World game is why Arkansas. You give them a home field advantage every year, and you go and you lose. Not only do you lose either horribly like last one or last year, where they just some fluky garbage happens. It's Tennessee, Florida. It's awful.
I'm a little scared of A&M.
A&M was the
So
kind of the real deal.
The question I kind of have for the chat that I was kind of thinking of, or the group, is watching. Obviously, we're watching Alabama and A&M this week. What outcome is best for Tennessee in 2 weeks? Them getting smashed, them being a close win, them being a close loss, or them winning big? What kind of A&M do we want coming into Knoxville?
I think an extremely emotional win. Probably the best case scenario.
Okay, that's a good one.
Probably second best with them getting destroyed.
Yeah, that was mine.
Emotional win. What's the? Walk me through the psychology.
You just can't continue. You can't get up back-to-back weeks typically, so we need them to spend all of their energy beating Alabama.
That'd be nice.
I almost want them to be a little deflated.
Has A&M lost an SEC game yet?
No.
No. They just lost to Miami, right? Or did they drop another one?
It was a debacle.
Yeah, they got murdered by him.
Yeah.
No, I think I can agree with
this. The cheap narrative all year has been we got to get to a point where Petrino and Fisher are pointing fingers at each other and the locker room discord. I don't know that that's going to happen. They look really solid, although their quarterback does turn the ball over quite a lot.
Well, is this true? They get their quarterback or main wide receivers hurt, so they're on their backup QB?
Yeah.
Max
he's out for the year.
Max Johnson's the guy now, but they have Anias Smith back, and that dude is very shifty. He's the typical A&M do all-purpose kind of guy.
Yeah. Is this just the third time we've played A&M since they came in?
Yeah.
We're 0-2, right?
Was in 2020, so
yeah,
it doesn't count.
Not that at all. I vividly remember 2016, though.
I only remember the Alvin Kamara game.
You don't remember actively rooting for A&M? The Basilio hard push.
That's true. That was. I don't remember anything about the game itself. I just remember the Trey Wallace story breaking like right before kickoff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I remember that game. I just forgot that it was against A&M.
Yeah, that was A&M.
That was
I guess it was.
I thought it was Mississippi State.
It was the end of the year. It was the last.
Yeah, it was like November. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
We just had whatever with Florida. and we were feeling a certain way, and yeah, we were
Yeah.
Evan, and we wanted him gone.
Well, speaking of A&M,
Anyway, so it'd be scary.
oh, Danny boy, the fans are calling for Checker kneeling against A&M. You guys for or against? Forward or against?
Or
Yeah, I mean it's a 3:30 CBS game.
Okay,
Let's
yeah.
go.
It'll look good. It's one of the cooler things that we do.
I mean, we're doing this like 2 days after a win, though. Like, can we stop? We just immediately go on to the next thing. Like, all right, what are we going to do after
Well,
this?
because
We've
it
done
wasn't-
Smoky Grays, we've done Black, we've done Checkered Kneeling. What do we got left?
Traditional orange and white with an orange
my
and white
goodness.
stadium.
Oh, my goodness. Can
Yeah.
you imagine that?
I do like that last year when we beat Alabama and had that amazing scene. It was traditional, like, just an orange out stadium with our orange,
Yeah, and it shows
You
you we
say-
don't need the gimmicks. Could you imagine if we
But-
beat Alabama and we were wearing
there
the
was a
Smoky
gimmick
Grays?
though. We did do the orange out, Matt. That was a gimmick.
I mean, that's fine. Like, that's our main school color. Yes, wear orange to the game.
You save it for Georgia. You do that with Georgia.
yeah.
But this one is
Here's the
just,
thing, and this is a good point Chris just brought up, is like I'm more confident in us versus Georgia than I am A&M. Like right now, as me sitting here today, I think we have
Bring that up.
against big Georgia than A&M.
I don't know if I'm quite there yet. I mean, I don't know what it is about A&M, but I'm always just kind of nervous about playing them. And I don't know that I should be, but it's just, I don't know. We don't see them enough, and
they're an unknown.
yeah. And they're just weird people. Whoop.
All right.
They are a weird
No,
school.
I don't know anything about them really. I've never been there.
I don't know if I would want to go. Caleb, you've been, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're fairly weird. The one thing I remember about the game day was like at all their tailgates they have like these they like hang on their tents everyone in their family and what year they went to A&M or what year they graduated from A&M. So you could just
Oh
I
my
don't know.
God. Send an
Kinda weird.
offering plate around the stadium. Like, what a bunch of
Hey,
weirdos.
If you went to Texas A&M, you would think that was the coolest thing. About
well I did it
tradition,
at A&M.
about value. Okay. You can't walk on the grass there.
What, on what
No.
grass? Like
I walk
anywhere?
on grass.
On the
Uh-oh.
campus grass, anywhere.
That's why we lost. Caleb
I
cursed
believe
us.
we definitely can.
All right, what else we got? We want to save A&M mainly for next week. I mean, we've kind of already
Let's say
touched
that.
on.
Yeah, I do think that it's going to be fun that like
Something to me.
we can literally sit here Saturday and watch our next 2 weeks game like play each other.
Man, I hate bye weeks for us. I hate
Well, I
'em.
love my weeks.
Yeah, I love
They're
it.
amazing.
Like, I can enjoy the other games.
I don't know. It's so depressing knowing that you have to wait like a whole nother week to play. Like, I just don't like that.
Oh, you get a free release weekend in the middle of the heart of things. It's a great day.
Although this is really like, I don't know, the first year in a while that I've enjoyed watching other football teams in Tennessee, so maybe it will be nice for a change. Are there any good games this weekend?
A&M and Bama.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Anybody else?
Anybody actually look at the schedule?
Our prep time has been great for this.
Yeah, we're always. While you're doing that, something popped into my head. Do any of you think that we are being overly and aggressively screwed by the referees? I know this is a very Kentucky fan thing to say, but it felt egregious on the replay,
I mean,
particularly the getting Squirrel White choke slam nearly
See,
on that
Yeah,
grab.
that one was.
I don't know if that definitely was a PI easy, and I think
You
somebody
said
said that they were gonna throw it, but they saw him catch the ball, so they didn't throw it. And
Oh,
I don't take that excuse, but I think they're just not calling stuff overall in all the games, not just us.
I don't
yeah.
know.
I mean, that is true. I mean, even our defensive backs aren't getting pass interference calls, really.
I guess we should be.
Maybe they're just not close enough to get them to.
I feel like it's to the point where somebody said something where it's like, look, if it's even remotely questionable, don't call it. You only call it if it's like super clear and blatant. Super.
Well, you think they told them to help shorten the games to stop calling penalties?
Okay, I'm. I've heard people complaining about the game length, and I kind of thought they were complaining for no reason. But I do think the commercials are longer this year. Seeing like the red hat guy with his sign, they had some like, I feel like it was never over 3 minutes in the past, and now it's like every time it's more than 3 minute commercial break.
Yeah.
And I hate when they go to a commercial and like a critical like review or something. Like, oh, we're gonna see if he actually crossed the plane and they're gonna go up 3 to blah blah blah. It's like, oh, but we'll be right back. Whopper, 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 whopper. It's like, what the hell?
There was some guy that called into a post game show and said that he had a little stopwatch, and
Oh
he
god.
would start and stop it with every commercial break, and the whole total commercial break in the entire game was 54 minutes.
But that doesn't.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I'm just curious what it used to be.
I mean, how much money are these networks making off of just one single game? Like, if you're running an hour of commercials and like a 3 hour broadcast, 3.5 hours, like, good lord. Making bank.
That's what it's about.
What?
Real quick, the worst part, you mentioned the game day experience earlier. The worst part by far is the pre fourth quarter, whatever happens there. It is so bad. It's like friends in low places
Ugh.
for a minute and a half, and then they go
Uh-oh.
for a minute, and then they start playing some rap music. Join it and gets no one excited.
Okay, so we heard friends in low places, and then what were the next two?
Yeah, you froze.
Dang it.
You froze
Stir the
in saying
pearl.
what it was, but not in like how long they do it. Like, it was pretty impressive. All right, so friends in low places followed by what?
Stir the pearl.
Stir the pearl. Okay.
And then like a random assortment of what seemed to me to be popular hip hop music, but I can't say for certain.
Okay. Well, did you dance or
I didn't.
no?
What did I do?
Jesus,
I do not know.
that's
Oh
hilarious.
god.
I'm glad that we're not trying to feel like we have to have made like a fourth quarter tradition though.
I think it would be cool if we had one, but I don't know.
I can't imagine what it would be.
I know. How about we orange out the stadium, and then the fourth quarter we put on white shirts in the white sections, and everybody in the orange section keeps the orange on.
Think-
2 gimmicks in one game.
I think Danny probably already has the rights to that one.
Well, wasn't it a couple years ago? I mean, this is probably a while back. When I had season tickets, they were trying to make Boys of Fall our fourth quarter tradition,
God.
and I hated that.
I would like to give Copperhead Road a try and see how it's received.
Okay, that's a good one. Chris, what would your fourth quarter tradition be?
Reading a chapter of The Fountainhead. I don't know.
I want mine to be having more points than the other team and finishing the game like that. I think that's mine.
I mean, the best pre-fourth quarter happening I can ever remember was the 2009 Georgia game when the team did the huddle hop out on the field. That was amazing.
I mean, everybody does the huddle hop, though.
Yeah, but that one had some juice. That one had some real juice.
Something just popped in my head about awful traditions. Remember when we used to pregame tradition where we had our drum lines circle the defensive players?
Oh, God.
Like AJ
Oh, God.
and it was Kurt Magett.
Oh,
Kurt
no.
Magett and AJ Johnson were just like headbanging to our circle.
Oh, yes.
That was
Oh.
this tradition.
Oh.
Uh,
That's one of those things you're trying to go to sleep and it comes to your mind. And
yeah,
you're just-
exactly.
You're done.
Tradition.
You're done.
Oh man, that was the worst.
I'm so sorry you remember that. Oh, my God.
Thank you, Dr. Ryder.
Do they still have the cheerleader go out there, like the male cheerleader, and like try to pump up the crowd before?
No, it's Sterl the Pearl now.
Oh, even better. Wow.
It was actually pretty good Saturday, though. He didn't really say anything. They had like a video playing, and he was just out there being crazy.
So they did recognize the 98 team, right? After, like, what, a quarter or something? How was that?
It was all right. They paraded out like, I don't know what the rhyme or reason was, but it was like if you won an SEC championship on multiples of 5 years ago, then they brought you back. So they had like all these cross country teams from like the 70s, and they paraded all these teams out before the 98 football team.
Oh, my goodness.
Jesus.
Century of dominance.
We just had to let them know.
Well,
Thank you for filling me in.
All right. What else we got left?
Do you
More
have
A&M
any?
talk next week. What, Chris?
Do you have any interest in some games of note?
Games of note? Yeah, I've got a game for you guys. Okay,
Yeah,
1999, Tennessee versus Wyoming. What UT receiver had 7 catches for 183 yards and 2 touchdowns?
In 99,
99.
I get
7 for
he
183.
was still on the team in
2
99.
touchdowns.
First thought was Jermaine Copeland, but probably not.
I'm gonna go Cedric Wilson. I'm gonna go Cedric Wilson. He's still on the team.
Cedric
Okay.
Wilson was, yeah,
Okay.
Cedric.
Oh, man, it was Cedric Wilson. You guys are good. All right, what
Well-
Wyoming receiver had... I'm just kidding. I love going back and seeing all these old names.
congratulations.
Who are some of your all-time Vol name players? I think mine's Raynoch Thompson. What a name.
God, it was good.
Love Raynoch Thompson. I love Tyrone Hines.
Yeah, I mean, goodness.
Bill Duff at the bottom of the heap.
Like Broadway Vegas.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
You know, obviously, Jim Bob Cooter.
Oh, boy.
You have to say it like John Ward, though, Kyle. It's Fuad. Fuad.
No thanks.
Peerless Price is obviously an all-timer.
So, Caleb, did you have any actual food at the tailgate, or was it just snacks?
We had mostly snacks. Did we have any real? I had buddies when we
Oh,
first
okay.
got there.
Remind me
Before
to
you got
tell
there?
you.
Do what?
You said
had-
before you got there, or did you
Well,
take
we
it
picked
with
it up
you?
on the way, and I ate it when we got
Oh, okay, that's good.
buddies.
That's
We
good.
had chips and cookies, and we had a little charcuterie set up with
Aw.
crackers and cheese and sopressata
Sorpreseta.
and some chili orange sauce.
Delightful.
What are those little peppers that Papa John's gives to you? How do you pronounce those?
Pepperoncinis.
Pepperoncinis. Okay.
The N in there always throws me off. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say the N or not.
That's one of those things that, like, I
Yeah.
want to know the answer, but I can't bring myself to look it up. It's kind of like I like the mystery of it more than
What do you
getting the knowledge. I don't know. I don't say it out loud. I say it in my head and assume it's right.
I also want to know for those who went to the game, is the Wi-Fi worth it? Was it good?
The Wi-Fi didn't really work once the game started in the upper deck. It's not supposed to work in the upper deck yet.
You're
I think it's
supposed
only a
to
lower,
pay attention to the game.
Jesus.
only for the elites right now.
Oh my goodness. Are you serious?
And
That's ridiculous.
I mean, they're going to have it in the upper deck next year, but
Well, they said they were going to have good Wi-Fi for the last 15 years, and apparently
luckily
it is
I had
now.
cell service, so it was not a big deal. But
he did. Blackout in 11th Street or T13.
I think what we need to do is when we replay this, we need to just do a counter every time Chris says, "I don't remember" or "I was blackout," and just have like a ding, ding, ding. And just do like a montage of Chris saying, "I don't remember, I don't remember, that happened, ding."
One of my best moments.
All right. Anything else this week, boys?
There also needs to be a counter when Matt says, "Is there anything else?"
There also needs to be a counter anytime Kyle
That's the
criticizes
time he
someone
said
else.
that.
Kyle's all the floodwater gone up there yet?
Yeah, I mean, I would say New York City last Friday was horrible from about 5 a.m. to noon, but after noon it was fine.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I think like some areas got like 7 inches between like 7 a.m. and noon.
The one video of like the subway wall just having like a stream of water coming out of it, that was, ugh. And it was dirty water too. That was even better. But yeah, glad you guys are okay up there.
Well, thanks. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Was there
All
anything
right.
else?
Caleb, you've been
you
awful
have
quiet.
anything else?
Red River rivalry coming up.
Oh, that's right. That's this weekend. Are there any other? Oh yeah, we were going to talk about good games. Any other good games?
LSU, Missouri.
Ooh,
That actually might be pretty good.
that'll be
If
interesting.
Chip Kelly loses, I want to see the heat turned up on him a little bit.
Chip Kelly.
Brian Kelly.
Oh, it's like who's UCLA play?
Yeah. I always get them mixed up.
Kentucky, Georgia.
Nah.
Yeah, that was.
I am here for the recent Georgia first half or Kentucky first half of the season going undefeated and then somehow finishing like 6-6 every year.
Haven't they been 5-0 the last 4 years?
Good God.
Here's my thing. I think Georgia's got a loss in them. I just hope it's against us and not Kentucky.
Yeah.
Because I don't want Kentucky to beat them and then Georgia right their ship afterwards.
Oh man, I'm excited for the late season. Like teams lose and playoff pictures muddied. I can't wait. This is gonna be exciting.
The SEC West, I feel like, is going to be insane down the stretch.
So every SEC West team has a loss, right? Well, not a conference loss, but Bama lost, LSU, Ole Miss, Arkansas.
Yep.
I think, yeah.
It would not surprise me. I mean, A&M or Bama could win Saturday. I mean, like, it wouldn't surprise me if LSU somehow beats Bama later in the year, like even though they've not been playing well.
Yeah, it is definitely the craziest SEC it's been in a while.
A welcome change.
Yes, sir. All right. Anything else?
That's it.
There we go again. Ding.
I think that's it.
You think that's it?
All right.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Who's
Chris,
next?
hope your voice gets better.
Thanks, Matt.
Drink hot tea and put some honey in there.
Not my thing, but I'll try it.
All right, guys.
All right.
See you later.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle, you take care, okay?
All right.
All right, I'm going to be like a grandmother getting off the phone, okay? Caleb?
All right, you
Go
hang up
brush your
first.
teeth, okay? All right. Love you. Bye.